In Detroit this past weekend, members of the United Auto Workers Union had a loud and clear message for their bosses. It was echoed by a prominent U.S. politician.
It is time for you to end your greed. It is time for you to treat your employees with the respect and dignity they deserve.
Time, they all said, to sit down and negotiate a fair contract. Existing deals for 146,000 workers at Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis car assembly plants expired last Thursday. With no new contracts, nearly 13,000 of them at 3 factories were ordered onto the picket lines in a targeted action.
These 3 units are being called to stand up and walk out on strike at midnight tonight.
The union is demanding a 36% pay increase over 4 years, roughly double what the companies are offering.
No deal! No deal!
Members are also calling for the end of wage tiers and better pension plans for new hires. Pretty reasonable, says President Biden.
Auto companies have seen record profits, including the last few years, because of the extraordinary skill and sacrifices of the UAW workers. Those record profits have not been shared fairly, in my view, with those workers.
Back in 2007, they gave up cost of living raises and made pension concessions to help car makers survive the Great Recession. Now they say it's time for payback, for companies to share some of their big profits. Some argue the COVID-19 pandemic also upset the status quo and convinced many workers they were being taken advantage of.
And when you are in the midst of a crisis where a lot of things that you took for granted have become unraveled, you also recognize that this is an opportunity to make changes, to move yourself forward.
A recent deal between Teamsters and UPS may also have sent a signal to the UAW that strikes pay off.
I think these workers feel that they now have as much bargaining power as they're ever going to have, and so that's why this strike is happening now.
Companies say union proposals are far too expensive, would make car makers less competitive with their non-union rivals, and that their hands can't be tied as they invest for an electric vehicle future. Workers say they're holding firm.
Now it's time. We need a contract. We need one that takes care of the new hires.
Well, I'm hoping it don't go too long, but if it do, we just gonna stand out here and fight.
It's a battle, one analyst says, that each side thinks is essential to their future. Can they find a middle ground somewhere down the road? Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Detroit.